here for the last episode of our Back to Basics series. So if you would like to stay and make one of these lovely journals with me, then obviously stay tuned. I'm just going to quickly give you a flip through of this one, and then we're going to go on to make this one, which the flip through will be at the end. So basically what we've got here, we've got just a ribbon closure. It's been glued to the back of here. This is my sewing pattern papers in the pinks and greens. The other one we made from the blues and browns in the sewing pattern papers. And it opens out like this, and then it opens the other way like this. So it's a really different kind of journal. And then we've got just a couple of pockets here where I've popped in a vintage postcard and a vintage piece of ephemera in the form of this letter dated 1930. So they just go in like that. They're genuine ephemera pieces. Gorgeous details on here. And then here we've just got another vintage postcard. That just goes in there. They're genuine vintage pieces. And then we've got lots of obviously writing pages. Obviously these were in the Junk Journal Basics series where we are doing just very basic things. We've got here a paper bag. Again, I just popped in another piece of genuine vintage ephemera. That just tucks in like that. We've got some lace just on the bottom of the bag here. We've got an envelope with another piece of vintage ephemera there, dated 1931. Whoops. And that just tucks into that envelope like that. Then we've got some vintage ephemera here. We've got a little topper piece from the sewing toppers on my printables. And then we've got just some more vintage ephemera here with another piece of the sewing pattern paper and some lace. And then we've got pages for journaling, a little pocket here with, again, another piece of genuine ephemera. More pages for journaling, little label there, genuine ephemera. More journaling pages, and then another piece of vintage ephemera here in this pocket. Like that. And then another page for journaling just there. So, and then what I love about this is I did this weird sort of closing mechanism where you've got this kind of I'm going to call it a container because it just keeps your pages all really neatly contained in this journal. Could have obviously bound it the other way with the pages kind of like, you know, in the normal conventional way where they would open all like this, but I thought this just turned out absolutely lovely. I love the way it's kind of got a bit of a folio feel to it, but is obviously very, very simple to put together. And then it's all completely enclosed, no sign of the pages kind of thing when the cover is closed. So yeah, I really, really liked that. And we're going to go on and make one of those in this little episode here. So if you would like to see how to make this gorgeous journal, then please do stay tuned. Oh, by the way, both of these are going to be available on my shabbydabbydoodah.co.uk website to coincide with this video. Enjoy! Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I can't believe that we're already here for the last one of our Back to Basics episodes. It's flown by, and I really hope that you guys have really enjoyed the series. I've really enjoyed making all the things that we've made, and I hope that you guys have maybe had a go and made some of the things that we've done as well. So today's one's slightly different. We're going to be using this parcel tape. Now, this parcel tape is not the normal shiny tape. It's kind of like more papery. So it will be perfect for what I'm looking for. Now, if you haven't got any of this, because I have to say I've only seen this once or twice. I think I got mine from a shop here called Home Bargains. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you probably can get it in other shops, but I haven't seen it. But if you haven't got any of this, you could always use washi tape or something. I mean, you could just use sellotape. You can use the normal parcel tape that's shiny. Anything is fine. Obviously, like we always say, anything goes when it comes to junk journals. No rules at all. But I'm going to use this one because I'm lucky enough to have some. And then what I've done, I've just literally stitched together 2 sheets of paper here. So this is my patterned paper. This is from my sewing collection in the blues and browns. And I've just stitched it together. So 2 sheets back to back, or yeah, back to back. So the plain sides on the insides, and then just stitch them together so that I've got a nice decorative cover. These are just 120 GSM, so they're slightly thicker than copy paper, but they're not as thick as kind of, you know, the 250 GSM that I quite like using. So I'm just going to fold this over like this. Now this is going to form my cover. Now hopefully I've done a little flip through of the other one. Now the other one I did this kind of strange arrangement which I haven't ever done before, but I really liked how it appeared. So I'm just going to kind of show you again how that worked, because this just kind of like contains the whole journal. So I was going to obviously stick my pages in here, but I decided to have it opening out this way, which I thought was just a little bit different and made it quite nice. And then by just having this little wraparound piece, when you close the journal, it's all really neat and compact on the side. So I'm going to try and do that again now. That was kind of an accident when I did it. And if I'm truthful, I probably suspect that I'm going to struggle to actually recreate it now. But that's the plan that I'm going to do, because I really liked how it just, you know, the whole journal is contained really neatly. So we're going to try and do that. So this is going to be my cover like that. And then we just want to take our variety of pages. Now, again, I've got some vintage document here. This is some more vintage document. So some I've got folded like with the texty side inwards, some outwards. Then I've got a bunch of the watercolour papers, which I have coffee dyed. So I'm just going to fold them in half like that. The watercolour paper, this was just an old watercolour pad that I happen to have, and I haven't really done any watercolour painting for a long time, so I thought, oh, I'll just coffee dye these. They're really nice because they're quite a thick paper in my particular pad. I couldn't tell you, I'm afraid, the GSM, because I did this, you know, coffee dyeing quite a while ago. But they're quite thick and substantial, so they're really nice pages to use. Then I've also got, oh, sorry, another piece of vintage paper here. And then I've got some envelopes. Now, oops, one of my little umbrellas there. This one's got stuck together just where it's quite old. So just kind of unstick that. And yeah, I've got this one. Now I'm just deciding, in the other journal, the one that I showed, I used a paper bag. Now, can't seem to find my paper bags at the moment, so I'm thinking use one of these. And I'm thinking maybe maybe kind of like have it open so it works like a paper bag. So I could always tuck the flap in like that, and then we could use it like that. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to quickly glue that flap down. I mean, obviously it's not really essential probably to glue the flap down, but just so that it's tucked in really nicely. Oh, first problem of the day. So we've got glue problems here. Oh gosh, it's because I have not obviously used my glue yet today. Oh, come on. Now this is not a very glue heavy project, because obviously most of our bits and bobs are going to be stuck in with the tape. But I will just glue this down, so like that. Okie dokie. Right, so that flap is now glued in. So it's now sort of more paper bag-ish in the way it's working, like that. And then all we're going to do is we're going to start sticking our pages together. Now this, again, nothing new. I have seen people do things like this before, so please don't think that I'm trying to say, oh, I've invented this, or it's a new thing, because it's really not. Now the only other thing that I will mention is, obviously, if I'm going to have this the same as the other one, my pages here, can you see that? They're going to be too long, because I want it to kind of go in there. So they're literally just sort of not even quite butt up against the edge. And bearing in mind that, you know, this needs to close neatly without kind of damaging the pages, as you can probably hear. So I'm going to have to cut my watercolour pages down just by, you know, a sort of fraction. So I'm just going to take those and just cut those down as I'm sticking them with the tape. So again, you know, you don't have to do this if your pages are actually a good size in the first place. I would recommend it, however, if you're using like an A4 sheet and an A4 sheet, A4 in the UK being quite similar to the US letter size, purely because you're going to have the same problem. So although they're going to be identical size papers, they're going to potentially get slightly bent over when your cover is kind of closing against them. Okay, so let me just cut them all down, so then we're kind of ready to glue them in. So not glue them in, but you know, stick them with the parcel tape. So I do have the faux washi tape printables, by the way, which I had actually meant to print some of that onto some you know, sticky paper, and just time got away from me and I just ran out of time to do that, to be honest. But that would be another alternative. If you haven't got any washi tape, then you could always use something like that and just make your own with some sticky back paper. Right, okay, so just going to fold that in the other way. For some reason one side is significantly paler than the other. Right, so I'm going to get started here by just gluing my envelope there. Now I'm tearing this because I quite like the torn edges. Now what you're going to want to do is leave like a literally, say, you know, millimetre or 2 millimetre space to give you like the folding room. Okay, so like that, and then I'm going to turn it over and just glue stick it on the back as well. Whoops. And again, don't worry if you get like creases in your tape, it's all fine. You know, it really is not a big deal. So like that, and that one then just folds over there. Then we can just take another page. So I'm going to take this page here. Again, going to just open it round like that. Again, leaving that same sort of, you know, 2 millimetre or millimetre or 2 space. And like that, okay? And then here. Like that. Okay. Now the millimetre space, that just gives you room so that it's nice and easy when you fold it in. You know, again, you don't have to do that, but I would recommend it just because actually I did try doing it without the millimetre space, and to be honest, it works way better with it, if you see what I mean. So, you know, that's just something that I would recommend. Okay. Again, turn that over like this. So you're just literally building up, you know, your pages as you go. So like that, and then I think I'll have another watercolour paper. Just going to hold that down with my scissors because it's wanting to kind of like ping up for the moment. Oh. Tore my tape a little bit too long there. Right, so can you see there, I mean, I've got a crease. Again, it doesn't really matter. It's not going to affect the way your pages turn or anything, you know. And to be honest, by the time that you've added some pretty details and things like that, you're not even going to notice. So, you know, really don't kind of stress too much. Now I'm going back and forth, so building it up. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is, again, because my prototype one, I ended up with tons of layers of tape on the very, you know, first page, the outer page. So I kind of have learnt my lesson a little bit, and I'm thinking add extra layers, if you see what I mean, either at the back or the front, so that you've just got 2 or 3 layers at the most of tape rather than, you know, maybe like potentially 7. Again, and not that that really matters, you know, it's not the end of the world if you end up with tons of layers, but, you know, just for sort of neatness sake or less bulk, you might just find that that's better. So like that, and then again going to just put another sheet of that, I think. Like this. I mean, this is probably the most time consuming part, although I may struggle with that closure, like I said, because That was a little bit different for me, but so again, got another crease there, but that's fine. Squish that down. Okay, oops. I mean, to be honest, I could have kept that piece way longer because those two sheets of paper were the same size, so I could have gone like full length, but never mind. Like that, and then just going to use another piece of this document. Like that. Might go for a long piece here because they're pretty tall pages, these couple. Oh my goodness, look at what I've done now. Didn't realise I was going to do it quite as long as that. That was not intentional. There we go. Okay, let's just trim that down. Okay, like that. Just tear that off. Again, just tear this one off. Okay, right. Bit better. Oh gosh. I did not have all this when I made the first one. I'm obviously making this look very complicated now. Didn't have all this messing about with the tape. I just happened to have, you know, torn that too long and it's overhanging. But again, I mean, it's not the end of the world, even if you did leave it hanging. Right, there we go. So, like that. And, oh, did I? No. Looks like that. And then last piece is this one, I think. So this might well be enough pages, to be honest, I'm thinking. Oh, perhaps we'll just have one more. Yeah, perhaps we'll just have this one at the front, I think. So I'm going to just do this here and this here. So just very quickly pop this one down. Again, just need to sort of hold that down with my scissors. Okay, like that. Okay, and then just, oops, turn that over. That's it. And this one. So, I mean, it's very quick, isn't it? Very, very quick. Now, I've kept this with plain pieces of paper, you know, envelopes, plain pieces of paper. Obviously, if you wanted to integrate some pattern papers, you could. You know, that would look gorgeous. I just haven't. But yeah, you definitely could. And I think that would look really, really pretty. So I might even have to make some more of these, incorporating some pattern papers. Because, you know, I did really love how this turned out, I have to say. And it was fun, you know, fun to make because it came together so nicely, you know, and so quickly. So again, I mean, most of the projects that we've done, they've come together, if not within the hour that we've kind of filmed for, then certainly within a couple of hours. You know, I may have to, you know, decorate them afterwards. The only one that I would say was longer was the first altered book that we did, which I have to say I still have not finished. So although that was a back to basics as in terms of keeping it super simple, it did turn out a much lengthier project than obviously everything else that I've made. So just something to be aware of there. Now, can you see this is still sticking out quite significantly past my spine? So I'm going to have to take my pages down further. So I'm just going to go in, I'm just going to tear this. I quite like the torn edges anyway, so it makes it a little bit different. Oops, I do have that slight, you know, chewed edge look with that tearing. That was not great. Okay, that was the longest piece. Let me see how far adrift I am now with my other pieces. Okay, so they just need coming down again another millimetre or so. So, I mean, that was just bad, you know, cutting in the first place. I hadn't taken it over far enough, so... I mean, you will probably still need to do this step, to be honest, even if you're using like A4 with A4, if you see what I mean, for the reasons I just explained about having your pages getting slightly you know, crumpled and damaged when you fold the cover over. If you don't cut them down, they're going to just potentially be, you know, getting just screwed up in the corners and things like that. So there we go, and just take this one down too. Okay, right, okay, so all those bits, throw them in the bin. The bin being my carrier bag that I keep beside my desk. Okay, right, so that's kind of my body of my journal, and that's going to go in there like that. So can you see there the gap that I've got just running down on the edge, which just, you know, just helps it slightly. Now what I need to do is obviously stick my journal into my cover, or onto my cover. Okay, so again, going to kind of leave that space like that, and I'm going to do it, you know, more or less the whole height of the page. So like that. Oops, like that, and then just turn that over, and obviously just straight down the back as well. Oops, we'll just cut those threads off. Like that. Okie dokie. Like that. Right. Oops. Oh, okay. So here I need to go much shorter because my page is shorter. So like that. Okay, so hopefully that's securing my pages onto my cover. And they just fold in like that on the edge, and then the cover folds round. So straight away you can see, really, really, really cute, isn't it? So loving how that looks. Right, I'm just going to grab now some craft coloured card, because that's what I used on the last one. So hold on 2 seconds. Now, I'm not saying you have to use this or anything. It's just this was what I used on the last one, and it worked really nicely. Now this craft card is 250 GSM, so it's much thicker, obviously, than the, you know, the thinner paper that I've used for the cover. Now what did I do? What did I do? Oh gosh, now I need to recap and think. So I folded in a piece that I wanted to have as my fold around, if you see what I mean. So like that. Oops. Just squish that down like that. Okay, now that's going to be my foldy piece here, or I could do it like this. So yeah, perhaps I'll do it like that. So basically what I did was I just folded it in, and I just wanted to have it overlapping on there, and then basically that's going to be my foldy piece, if that makes sense. So I'm going to just fold that in like that. Oops, like that. Okay. So obviously this, you know, there's no exact science to this. It's just a case of like play around. Okay. Now what I've done here, I just literally sellotaped this down with the brown tape on the last one that I made. That worked well. And then what I did also, oops, just try and tape it down whilst it's folded. What I then did was I took my glue and ran my glue into the top edges, if you see what I mean. So, oops, just need to unclog my glue again. I mean, this part's not obviously essential. I just thought that was really nice, having all those pages really kind of like contained in there. But like I say, I mean, I've never done that before. You know, ordinarily I would have probably glued the pages in to have them, you know, running with the edge of the journal, if you see what I mean. I just thought this was a little bit different, and, you know, therefore quite nice to do. So just put my glue into those edges, bit there, a little bit here, and then here. So, I mean, this is probably the most complicated thing that we've done in the whole series, to be honest. This is the most faffy, the most complicated thing. But hey, it is the last day, so I think we've done pretty well, haven't we? This paperclip's not really... Oh, it's not stretched out long enough to be unclogging the glue. So that's really annoying. Might have to stop the video in a minute and unclog it properly. Right, there we go. So we just squish this down here. Let me just get a tissue. Okay, so squish that down, squish that on down. Okay, like that. And then on the other end, you just want to do exactly the same thing. So a little run of glue in there. Oh my goodness, this glue's doing my head in. Oh, driving me potty. Right, there we go. Okay, and then this bit. Oh, come on. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Shouldn't have to be unclogging it between each squeeze, should I? No, I'm going to have to do it properly in a moment. Okay, so squish this down. Okay, looking good. So then what I'm going to do is just literally, and I will need to unclog my glue for this, I want to now glue this as a wraparound for the pages. So then when it closes, it's going to close like that, and you've just got this little kind of holder basically holding all of your pages really super neatly in. I mean, not that they're not going to hold in, but I mean otherwise they're just going to have this kind of section here, which I'm not saying that looks terrible, it looks fine, but you know, I think it looks neater with this. So let me just unclog my glue. Hold on. Okay, so I've unclogged my glue. So what I'm doing, I'm taking like the longer end, if you see what I mean. So this end here, I'm just going to glue it down like that. So I'm just spreading my glue around the edges, a little bit there in the middle. And then what I want to do also is just run a bead of glue here along this far edge, if you see what I mean. Like that. Okay, so then this then pops onto here like that. Okay, just mop out any excess glue like that. Okay. This is a bit like, you know, when you try out a new recipe, and I don't know about you guys, but often, you know, the recipe goes brilliant the first time, and then the second time I try it, it's a disaster. So I hope that this isn't going to be like that when I say, well, this is a bit like, let's hope it's not a bit like that. Yeah, I mean, strangely enough, there was that program called Come Dine With Me, and quite often you'd see people and they'd say, oh, I've never cooked this before. And my husband, my ex-husband, always used to say, oh, why are they cooking something they've never cooked before when people are coming round? But I used to say, well, sometimes I think, you know, it goes the best the first time you make it. And then you think you've, you know, got it down to a T. And actually, it's sort of a disaster after that. So sometimes I think, yeah, you're better off doing it your first time ever, you know, is normally the best. So, right. So, just mopping my glue down there like that. Okay. So, looking good so far. And then what I did, I just popped a couple of pockets down on the inside of this kind of front cover. So I'm just going to now dig out some paper, and I'm just going to pop this under my leg for 5 minutes. Hold on. Okay, so I'm back. I've obviously squished this down. I've had a cup of tea. Yep, and I've sorted out some papers. So what I'm going to do, when we just open this up now. Oops, I've now glued that down. Oops, there we go. So that's your kind of journal section. And then this section here, what I did on the last one, I just put some lace down on the spine just to kind of reinforce it and strengthen it really. So I'm just going to put this lace down. Again, I can't see the right side and the wrong side. I know, it's just ridiculous. Why can I never see that? For some reason, I just never can. So, yep, just pop this down here. Now, I've not coffee dyed this paper or anything like that, so I'm just kind of going with it as it is. I mean, it looks quite vintage, I think, to be honest. I don't think it really needs coffee dyeing, although I think it would look pretty if it was, but it's because in the winter I don't really kind of enjoy coffee dyeing because obviously it just makes such a mess around your kitchen and such a mess around your house. Well, not your house, I mean just your kitchen really, but well, unless you do your coffee dyeing somewhere else. I tend to do mine in the kitchen, so it kind of goes by the wayside a bit. But I've you know, got a few sheets plain, but my patterned papers I haven't coffee dyed or anything, so but that's fine. Like I said, I think it looks quite pretty anyway. So we've just reinforced the spine there with a bit of lace, and then just want to make a couple of pockets to run down the sides. Now on the other one I did do them both side loading pockets, so we'll probably just do the same on this one. Just seeing what papers I've got here. Didn't want to actually print some more, so I'm just using what I actually had kind of ready printed, which some are, you know, better matches obviously than others, but that's fine. So we'll take that one. Okie dokie. And then just trim that down. Now obviously I'm doubling this over because this is just that finished paper, so again it's still just the 110 GSM. If I was using a thicker paper, maybe I would just kind of use it just, you know, normal thickness kind of thing. But for this, I think it needs to be doubled over just so it's, you know, nice and robust and sort of strong on there. So that one, just going to trim that down slightly. Just wondering whether that doesn't really go so brilliantly on there. It's a shame because I don't really want to cover this. Perhaps I should have just side, you know, pockets that way. I could always put these pockets on a couple of my thicker pages here, so I might do that instead. So again, if I'm going to do that, I probably want to trim it down slightly more. And as I always say, I mean, your pockets like this, you know, it's fine to have them a bit shorter than the page. Obviously it's a problem if they're going to be taller than the page, so yeah, doesn't really matter too much. I have got this collage page again. Let's see. Decisions. Oh, I don't know now. Oh dear, this is very annoying, isn't it? Oh, just wondering unless I have that there. I mean, that's not bad to be honest. So yeah, perhaps I'll just take that one down. Again, just trim this off. Okey-dokey. Right. Yeah, I have to say I was running out of you know, ideas of what to make as my last journal, so I'm actually just filming this on the Monday, you know, before it goes up on the Tuesday. So yeah, I was leaving it right to the wire to actually get it done, but I just couldn't kind of like think what to do as the last episode. Well, we could use the pink side, which also looks quite pretty over there, doesn't it? Oh, I wonder whether we should just use, oh, I don't know. I think both look quite nice. What should I do with the rest of that paper? Right, I'm just going to take this one in half now. Okey-dokey. Like that. Yeah, oh, that looks very pretty, doesn't it? So yeah, just going to do it like that. So I'm just going to cut this down slightly like that. Okay, so that's those, and then I've got that one for there, and then I probably want to do maybe 1 or 2 more pockets. So again, just going to take my paper. I've got this one ready folded, so we might as well use this somewhere. Might just have to trim it down slightly in height, I think. So I'm going to do it this side. Oh, trim it down slightly. Look at that. What an idiot. I cut it right down. Oh well, that's fine. And then yeah, going to go down here just because it's a little bit on the wide side. Like that. Okay, that looks better. And maybe 1 more, but maybe this way up. So this might be a bit narrow. Oh, I think it's okay actually. So yeah. Okay, let's just do that there, like that. Fold that in half and then just trim that down a little bit along the bottom so it's not quite so tall. Okay, right, so that's my papers that I'm going to use as pockets. So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to take these, and then obviously you could sew these on the sewing machine, but what I'm going to do is just literally glue them. So just going to take them and pop some glue around the outer edges, if you see what I mean, like that. Okay, so that one. Okie dokie, looking good. That's one. I mean, how quick is this? We are not, you know, not taking our time at all. We're, you know, just very quickly doing these things. Again, like I say, I mean, if this were thicker paper, I wouldn't even be doubling it up. You know, I could just use just single thickness paper. But obviously, because this is thinner paper, I really find it best to double it up to just make it more robust. Plus then as well, you've got the nice kind of folded edge top, which always looks quite pretty and, you know, yeah, a bit more finished off really than it would look otherwise. So okie dokie, like that. Yeah, I can't believe like this whole series is finished already. I mean, wow, that just came and went like blink and you'd miss it, didn't it? Very, very quick. So yeah, I really hope that you've enjoyed it and maybe got some ideas for inspiration for some other things to do that maybe, you know, you haven't tried before or haven't done before. Like I say, I have really enjoyed this series and yeah, really had a good time. So, and I feel kind of, I know that the lovely Lorette Chandler, she's got obviously a channel here on YouTube as well, and I mean she does absolutely beautiful work, but she had commented in one of the videos saying she was just feeling a bit like, you know, missing her crafty mojo recently, and yeah, hope she feels spurred on now. So she just makes absolutely awesome looking things. So yeah, lovely to hear from you, Lorette, and hope that you're kind of maybe back in your crafty zone now. Thank you to everybody who's taken the time to comment during the series and things. It's really nice to hear when people are enjoying the series and, you know, getting some inspiration from the videos and things. Sorry about this glue, it's very annoying. It's any consolation, it's annoying me. It's annoying me too. I thought I'd managed to clear it by, you know, getting the metal of the paper clip going right the way in, but sadly it does not appear to have worked. But anyway, right, squish the glue out like that. Okay. Right, there we go. So mop up the glue from the desk. Okie dokie. Right, so we're going to bring the journal back in and then just glue our pockets down. So we said the pink ones, didn't we, in here? So we've got that one and is it that one? Oh no, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, that one. Okay, so I'm going to glue those ones in first. So just glue them on obviously 3 sides. Like that. And the other brilliant thing with this papery type tape is obviously it's very easy to glue down onto. You know, sometimes the shiny tape can be a little bit more problematic when gluing onto it. So, you know, that is another plus for obviously using a different kind of tape. Okay, so that one. Okay, I mean, obviously, as you can see, I've even got that torn edge where I tore it. You know, I don't mind that. I think it looks quite pretty like that. So yeah, you really can kind of get away with, you know, anything goes. Okay, so my son has been on holiday. I think I did say this. So yeah, he went on holiday after Christmas, lucky devil, just for 5 nights. So he is back tomorrow. So it's just been my daughter and I here. We have missed him so much. We can't wait for him to come home. Yeah, it's been quiet. And we have a lot of fun, the 3 of us. So yeah, looking forward to him coming home, because it's definitely not been the same without him. So my daughter's downstairs currently playing with Bo. Well, she was just now. I haven't heard her come up. Although I suspect she's now just probably ignoring Bo, but, you know, sat next to her, but now just on her phone. But there we go. We did a sausage walk yesterday on the beach. So, yeah, that was nice. Obviously, that was the last one of the year. It was pretty cold, I have to say, but it was okay. There was a lot of people on it. I guess everybody trying to burn off their excess weight that they've put on over Christmas. Oh dear, that's just fighting a losing battle, isn't it? Right, there we go. So that's how the inside of the cover looks. Obviously you can decorate a couple of, you know, bits on these pockets or not, up to you really, but that's just how basic that they, you know, they are in the first place. And then obviously we can just go through and maybe just pop a couple of pockets in, dotted around through the journal. So maybe that one there looks rather cute. So again, just a bit of glue like that. Actually, I'm now just thinking, did I need to trim this one down in terms of height? Didn't check. Oh no, that's a relief. Only just occurred to me and I thought, oh, I didn't check that. There we go. Right. That's that one. Okay. Again, obviously, you know, in an ideal world, I would perhaps, you know, hold on to this for a few seconds or put some bulldog clips on it. But obviously, I'm just trying to kind of do it quite speedily for the video. And then we've got that little half pocket like this. So again, just kind of go through, find somewhere ideal to pop that. So maybe just on here or on that side. I think I'm going to have it on this side. Okie dokie. Just trim that little corner off. It looks a little bit hanging. Again, just glue that down like that. Okay, there we go. Again, just squish that down. There we go. And then I've just got the one pocket left, which was this one. Which, oh, is that going to be now on the, oh, that's a shame, isn't it? I haven't really judged that very well. I might have to have it further back. Maybe there. Okay. So, yeah. Okie dokie. Like that. And then obviously as we're keeping these really nice and simple and not kind of over decorating them or anything like that, you could just go back through and then just add like a couple of little decorative details on 1 or 2 pages. So, I mean, I always quite like to just literally tear off paper that's coordinating with everything else in the journal and just have that kind of in some, you know, random places. So let's just see what I've got here. Okay. So I can go, for example, to the envelope, which is always quite a good one to pop some bits on. And I can just then take some of this and just pop some onto that envelope. Again, just kind of like tying it in really with the colours of the rest of the journal. So just take that down. Like that. Okay. Like that. It's just making it sort of a bit more interesting to look through, but without, you know, complicating it or anything like that. So there. And then maybe on this one that we've put in a bit like a paper bag, we'll just put maybe another piece from that sheet. Okay. Maybe something like that. Maybe just trim that down on the side. Like that. And we'll just glue this down. I mean, obviously, you know, we're keeping things very basic. If you wanted to add to your pieces now, you know, then that would be fine. We're just keeping it here for the sake of the series. Really nice and simple and, you know, just very accessible and very kind of quick and easy. And I mean, hopefully you guys will agree, you know, things haven't looked any less gorgeous or scrumptious just because they haven't been decorated, you know, to the max. They still look beautiful. I mean, to be honest, this here, if I just show you now, I mean, just opening that out to that spread, we've got the brown tape on show, we've got a brown envelope, you know, no kind of whistles and bells. But wow, that just looks so pretty to me. I don't know about you guys, but I just love how it looks. You know, it doesn't even really need anything else. Of course, I will put other things on. So I've just got this flower there that was just, oh, I think my glue gun might have just broken, you know, because it kind of made a weird popping noise and it's now, it's gone off. Oh dear, that's awful. Oh dear, going to have to order a new hot glue gun because I hate being without them. And I know I have talked about this before. I mean, I do tend to order them, I would say, kind of like every 18 months or something like that. I mean, I don't think that's bad value because I do have it on every single day, you know, and use it a lot. So, yeah, and I'd rather order a new one than be without it because, my goodness, I hate being without it. So, yeah, I mean, just popping a little flower on there and then coming back this way, I've got some fussy cuts from the sewing toppers. So I'll just pull those in. Okie dokie. Oops. So we could just take one of these, for example. Maybe have there. It's a little bit wide for that pocket. Maybe we could just change it up and have something like that there. Or maybe down the bottom. Oh, that looks pretty, doesn't it? Yep, so again, just going to glue this down. Now this is going to be a very skinny pocket, so, you know, only something very narrow can fit in here, but that's fine. So just pop that down onto there, like that. And then I have got some pink lace here. I did use this on the other one as well, I have to say. And wow, it looked so pretty. So yeah, I thought, wow, it really goes nicely with these sewing pattern papers. Oh, that's doubled up. So yeah, just going to see if I can have some of this on here as well, because it looked lovely. Okay, so maybe just something like that running along the bottom. Again, I've just cut that slightly too big, so we'll just take that down a bit. Okay, and then just pop that onto there. I can't believe my hot glue gun, honestly. I feel like someone's cut my hand off. I use it all the time. It's horrible being without it. So yeah, gonna have to start searching for one in a moment, which is very gutting. There we go. So, you know, we have put the most minimal things, just a bit of lace, a little flower, that's it. But doesn't that look so absolutely gorgeous? Absolutely yummy. And then obviously this closes in, that closes down. Now what I did on the other one, I just ran some lace down the side of here. So again, I'm going to do kind of the same thing. Now I just used this cream ivory coloured lace. And again, I just ran it down there. It's just sort of so it doesn't look like a, you know, plain brown sheet of paper. I mean, again, not that there's anything wrong with that, but obviously if it's a plain sheet of brown paper covered with lace, it looks obviously much prettier. Oh, this is driving me potty. Talk about glue problems. I've lost my glue gun. My glue's constantly clogging up. Oh my goodness. What a disaster. Okay. So yeah, just smoosh that out a bit. Okay, just pop that down like that. Oops, like that. Okay, squish that down. Okay, looking good. And then we'll just snip that edge off. Just there, like that. Okay, and then obviously your cover, you can then decorate with something else completely. So I'm just seeing, there we are, right. So maybe just, you know, one of the topper pieces. Just having a look to see what else I've got here. So yeah, we could just have a topper piece and then, you know, maybe some of the pink lace. You know, again, very, very, very simple little things that we're doing here. But yeah, I mean, how gorgeous does that look? So I'll just then snip that down here. Okie dokie. And we will just, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now this will be a problem trying to put my topper piece over the top of the lace and the paper without my hot glue gun. Not because it won't glue down, but just because it won't glue down instantly. So yeah, just have to imagine it finished. I don't know what they're doing down there. I can hear my daughter now making quite a lot of noise with the dogs, so hopefully they're having a lovely time. Bo's probably hiding in reality. No, she loves it, loves being made a fuss of, but yeah, I'm not sure what they're actually doing down there. Oh my goodness, this is very annoying. Right, okay. Right, hang on a second, sorry. Right, fingers crossed now. So yeah, just pop a bit of glue down there. Oh my goodness, now it's like one extreme to the other, so it's like really coming out now. Still, that's preferable to not coming out at all. Okey-dokey, pop that pink lace down there. Okay, so yeah, that goes there, that goes there. Obviously I need really some more glue, but we're going to have then, you know, the topper piece on here. So let me just quickly glue this down a little bit more. Okay. Like that, and then yep, we're going to have our topper piece here. Oh, I can't believe my hot glue gun. What on earth am I going to do without it? Oh my goodness, I wonder if I unplug it and plug it back in, whether it will come back on. It's highly unlikely, isn't it? But right, okay, so I'm going to have to glue this down like this. Now obviously this isn't going to glue down probably in the course of this video, so yeah, we just have to kind of like imagine that it's glued down. Okay, right, just glue that edge down. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this glue. This is driving me mad. I'm so sorry about this. Right, fingers crossed. Okay, so yeah, plenty of glue. Oh my goodness, I don't believe it. My glue's clogged up again. What is going on? I took the lid off, I stirred it round and everything. Oh my gosh, this is really annoying. Nothing worse really than doing a video and finding your glue or any other material is not working. I'm now covered in bits of glue that are like, yeah, all over me now. Not a great look for a video either. Right, there we go. Lots have come out now. Right, so I'm going to just glue this down here. Okay, like that. Just pop that down. I mean, this is where obviously a hot glue gun just comes in so brilliant, you know, because I wouldn't now have to press this down at all. It would just be now glued. So yeah, obviously when you're doing videos, that's unbelievably helpful. And then yeah, we could just put down, I don't know, maybe like some pearly trim or something. That looks rather pretty, doesn't it? I do have the trim packs on my shabbydabbydoodah.co.uk website, so that looks pretty. Okay, like that. Okay, and then I do want to put something else on here, but I'm not sure. Not sure whether I want a flower. Let me just weigh this down so it stops pinging up. Oh, I thought that I had some. Again, I mean, I'm just literally pulling in things that are laying around on the desk. So,
love you, Mum.
Love you, sweetie. You okay, darling? Are you having a nice time with both?
Yeah.
Good girl. I'm not sure. Nearly finished, sweetheart. Love you. Oh, that looks a bit grey, doesn't it, on there? Right. Oh, now I can't see any of my little flowers anywhere. That's also now really very annoying. Okay, sweetie. Green is not the colour. No. It's a nice colour, but not for this. Not for this journal. Oh, what's this? Okay, I've got a white one. I mean, I assume that other one was kind of white, but for some reason it looked grey. Hopefully this will look whiter. Oh yeah, that's better, isn't it? Much better. So yeah, we could just have that there. Oops. There we go. Okay, just press that down like that for a minute, and then we will put a centre, obviously in the flower, like that. Okay, so that probably is good enough, to be honest, just to kind of demonstrate how, you know, how I would decorate the cover. Obviously I do need to now add some finishing touches to the journal, but I mean, it's such a gorgeous journal. It looks very scrumptious and yummy. Okay, so yeah, I don't know whether I will get time to finish it. If I do, I will obviously do a flip through now. Okay, so I finished up the journal. So I bound it with this gorgeous grey polka dot lace, sorry, not lace, ribbon, which just is attached at the back here. So love how that looks. The cover obviously we did together. And then going inside, obviously we've got the whole thing flips open like that, which again, you know, like I said at the beginning, it's almost got like a folio type style to it. We've got some genuine ephemera in here, and this genuine ephemera has got like a little vintage pin in there as well. Do be careful, because obviously it's a bit sharp, but yeah, it's a genuine vintage pin. So that's really super nice. That just goes into there. You have got some other little pockets here, but I didn't fill them with anything. You've got here a cabinet card, so it's proper, you know, authentic cabinet card there. And I just thought the colours, don't they just go perfectly with this journal? So that's just tucked in there. We've got here just a little bit of paper there from the Totally Dotty papers. That just slots in there. And then we've got room for journaling, little label, room for journaling, more journaling space here. And then we've got this pocket, which we did together. Just popped in a vintage postcard into there. Journaling space, obviously vintage ephemera here. Little label, journaling space here. Then here we've got a vintage postcard, or sorry, vintage photograph. This is me and some of the men, it says. So, yep. Don't know who obviously is the person saying it. Oh, maybe this one, because there's a little cross marked by him. And then here we've got another vintage letter dated 1937. So that just can go in like that. Tucks in there. Then here, this is some vintage paper. Then we've got more room for journaling here with a pocket and a piece of vintage paper there. This pocket's plain, so of course it could be decorated up. I left it plain because I thought actually it looked quite lovely plain, and yeah, we're keeping it nice and simple. And then here I've just got, this is a reproduction vintage postcard, but obviously it's not a printable or anything. But don't you love that picture on there? Absolutely love that postcard, to be honest. I'm quite surprised that I'm actually passing with it, because yeah, I did kind of have a bit of an urge to hoard that one. But yeah, I thought it was very cute. Very, very nice. So that just goes in the envelope like that. Then I just popped on a little topper piece on here. This was that envelope that we just put that patterned paper on, and I just thought, oh, pop this topper on. It looked very sweet. Journaling space there, and then here we've just got that piece with the flower. Put in a genuine letter here. This is dated 1895, would you believe? So very old piece of ephemera there. Genuine letter. Look at that lovely penmanship on there. Honestly, people just don't write like that anymore, do they? Me included. And then here we've just got a little tuck spot, and then here we've got some genuine ephemera, and obviously more journaling space. And then we've got that closing mechanism like we had on the original. All closes round like that. It's all very neat, contained in there, and then tie it all up with your ribbons. I thought this grey polka dot was really quite pretty on here. I mean, the papers aren't grey, to be honest, but there's something sort of pulling me towards the grey for the ribbon. So yeah, I thought it just looked really pretty. So yeah, I hope that you like them. They were quite different to finish the series up. Do let me know what you think to them. As I say, they're available on my website to coincide with this video. Let me know what you felt to the series. What was your favourite journal that we made? Did you make along? You know, which ones did you make? Hope you had fun. Hope you felt inspired. Love to hear your comments in the messages below. And really appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate you subscribing to my channel. I've got lots of things planned for 2025. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you very much for all of your lovely support throughout the whole year. And hope you all have a very fantastic Happy New Year. Thank you so much then. Bye.